Mayhem Garage. Well, it's kind of cold outside again. But been doing some work on the race car here. You know, trying to get the body to fit. Finally made quite a few modifications. I think I'm happy with where the body is at for now. So, of course, got it back off because I need to get motor, transmission, and drive shaft in. So, that's going to be next in line. With the body being off, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier to make some motor mounts, make a transmission mount, get the drive shaft in, hopefully run some exhaust. But ran into some pretty interesting problems, I guess. Stuff I wouldn't even think of. So, I got a drive shaft with this car. Of course, naturally the yoke is wrong. I figured that much. It looks like it's a GM yoke of some sort. So, I purchased a yoke for a 727 transmission, which goes to the 1350 series Spicer U-joints that are on this drive shaft. So, I ordered that because I knew I was going to need that. And my thought process was either I can hopefully use this drive shaft or at least use those U-joints. And if I need to have this lengthened, I'm going to have to send it out or, you know, take it to a shop somewhere and have them lengthen it for me. So, but anyways, move forward from there. I figured I would need that at least. So, I was getting some measurements, or wanted to get some measurements, and I went to hook the drive shaft up to the rear end, and those big old massive 1350 series U-joints don't bolt up to the rear end. This thing's got like a 1310 series U-joint, which is quite a bit smaller. So I got a drive shaft with this car, painted basically the same color as the car, and it's not for the car, or it doesn't appear to be anyways. So I don't know. So tried to find a rear end, and of course this one has the pulley on it. So the pulley is for the power steering pump, and I think for now I'd like to leave that. I mean, it's not going to work very well for, you know, parking and stuff, but it'll be kind of cool just having it back there. Just kind of adds to the race car side of it, you know, keeps it more race car, I guess. But so I was trying to find one with the pulley. Doesn't seem like they exist. So then I was looking at parts where I could maybe make one, and then I'm getting into a whole other realm of stuff that I don't entirely even necessarily understand. So plus I was looking at $100+ for one of those, like even $150 for the one with the pulley, and depending on which one, if I had to buy, you know, the pulley separately with the correct yoke. So kind of abandoned ship on that. Ended up going to work and found the right U-joint that I needed. So I found a conversion joint that goes from the 1350 yoke to that 1310 yoke, or 1350 U-joint to the 1310 U-joint. So big to small basically, and it's a conversion joint all in the same joint. So now I can run this drive shaft and run that same yoke, and then I'm gonna have to put my end on that I purchased, because I'm looking measurements wise. This is where I'd like to get this more exact, but from the measurements that I kind of got, sort of mocking the rear end up where it needs to go, or the drive shaft with the rear end, and then measuring the yoke where it comes out here. I added 12 inches to this cage, but I'm also running a 383 Mopar with a 727 Mopar tail shaft out of a car, so it's got the long tail shaft end on the back of the transmission. So I can walk over here actually and show you my measurement, you know, from the back of the bell housing, or the back of the engine to the end, because it's a long tail shaft. My measurements are looking proper to where, utilizing this, hooking up to the engine, I may not have to modify this drive shaft. It may be the right length. It may be the right length as in I may have wanted the motor, you know, a little bit further forward, a little bit further back, but I may place the motor and transmission, since I'm going to have to build mounts anyways, I may set them in place to match up with the drive shaft. That's going to save me a ton of money. So yeah, it looks like measurement wise it may be just perfect. So, but I think that's what I'm going to do now. Got to get this motor, I want to get those motor mounts off, I've got a set that I can cut apart. They're off of a motorhome. So I can cut those apart and hopefully make those end up with these ears. I think the transmission ones I'm not going to use whatsoever. I'm going to have to build a transmission mount of some sort across the back, but I think I want to get this thing put together and mocked up because yeah, I think get this all together, and I want to put my yoke on my drive shaft. I'm really hoping I can get this all together in one side without having to cut the drive shaft. That's going to simplify so many things. I know my valve covers with the back of the motor are going to be close to these bars and suspension, but that means my motor's going to be sitting back, which is kind of where I wanted it anyways. So I think it might be, you know, near perfect. So there is only one way to find out though. So let's get after it. Well, didn't get a ton done tonight. Oh, I messed with these U-joints forever. Those were being a pain. Finally got all those changed out. So I got the front yoke changed and got the rear one changed. And of course, if you notice, the drive shaft is in. Amazingly, whatever this drive shaft came out of, with, as I was saying, with the long tail shaft of the transmission, and where my shifter sits kind of in regards to the steering wheel and to kind of where my seat's going to be sitting, and then my existing dash, if you will. I am definitely going to have to trim some more and make this a little bit bigger, but holy cow, I think like everything fits kind of like it's supposed to be. So that's pretty wild. And then of course, you know, the engine's sitting up here. Just got it on the cherry picker, getting an idea of what I need to make or do. So the headers, this side looks pretty good. I got a decent amount of room down here. The problem is, like, this stuff is really low to the ground, so I don't want to go below that. So I may have to do some sort of weird curve. Like, I almost might even need to come up this way and come kind of through and then around or something. It's going to be goofy, but then I'm going to be having issues with tire clearance. So I gotta come down that side, but I'm thinking, you know, kind of loop around and kind of squeeze it through where the kind of transmission sits and whatnot. But that poses problems as well because I have even less room on the other side. I was kind of going to run it on that side, but I've got all the linkage and stuff and kick down, and I don't know that I have any room to sneak it through there. If I do, I'm gonna have to get super creative, and then of course, you know, I got like the throttle and stuff, which is gonna have to be modified. But I got room though with where that exhaust is over here. If I go straight down with it, can you see down in here? Yeah. If I go straight down with it, go underneath the oil pan, you can see right there in the center is the center sump of the oil pan, and then to the right there, that's where it goes back. And I've got this gap right here. Which is where, like, normally your steering center section, all your steering stuff anyways, would be routed. But on this, there's nothing there. So I might be able to run the exhaust from this side over to the other side. But I don't have any room over there either. So I'm going to have to get creative with exhaust on this thing. It's going to be pretty interesting. So I'll have to see what I do there, but I mean, everything else seems to fit pretty good. This thing's going to be sitting in a really weird position. I think the motor mounts, you can see the tabs on the side of the block here versus this bracket here. This guy. It seems like this motor is sitting maybe further back than what the other motor was. But with where I'm sitting, you know, my water pump and everything, you look at where my radiator is going to sit right here, I really don't have a whole lot of room to come forward. I mean, I could a little bit, and that'll clear up a little bit of room back here. But I mean, at this point, I'm kind of quite happy with my drive shaft length as well. So that may just end up staying. I've maybe got room to come forward like a ½ inch. But that still doesn't, even if I come, you know, forget about the drive shaft and come forward several inches, it's just going to mess with my exhaust on the power steering box thing, whatever, you know, the steering box assembly there. And still not giving me a whole lot of room back here for exhaust and whatnot, so I guess at that point might as well just scoot it back as far as I can, get a little bit better weight distribution. But yeah, this is this is the fun part about projects like this. Fun / frustrating / you know, artistic, I guess. It's just messing with it and sitting here, you know, like I feel like I haven't done a whole lot. I changed some U-joints. I bolted the transmission to the engine, just 4 bolts, no torque converter or anything. And I picked it up and set it in here. But at the same time, that's really good because I've been sitting here staring at it for quite a while, just brainstorming and coming up with ideas. But yeah, I was talking about the exhaust on that side crossing underneath in this area. So I got that kind of open area, but I got this exhaust in this part of the bracket here that I've got to get around as well. And it gets kind of slim back here, but that still might be an option. So run the exhaust both on this side, because if you notice over here, it's pretty much wide open, and which is how the car was set up originally, because it came through here, which is why there's still a heat shield here, and it just came out the passenger seat area over here. But I want a passenger seat, so I've got to figure out where and how to run it over here. I'm still thinking my original idea, except because I might be coming over both to the passenger side, I might have to run them both kind of on the left side of the drive shaft here, or on the passenger side, I guess, and then split them and go back, because I've also got this support over here, which would make it kind of hard to run some exhaust through. But if I come over on this side and then cross over, go that way, cross over, go this way, I don't think it's going to be as big of a problem. But I'm definitely going to need to cross that road when I get there, because I'm still not entirely sure how that's going to work. Of course, it would just be way easier if I just lifted the whole car up, made it higher. But that is kind of defeats the purpose of the look of this car. So of course, the other thing, which isn't going to make it exactly street legal, I've got all this, you know, open room right here. Although I really don't have it on the other side, but being open room on this side, I can just run exhaust out. And I can run them both on this side, or I don't know. That's gonna require some tinkering there. That's not gonna just go together. But yeah, this is exciting. It's coming together. So not a whole lot done on this one. I'm not sure if I'll roll this video into some others, or if this finishes up this one. I think I've got enough here just to make a kind of quick little video, just kind of show the steps here of what it takes. And yeah, so drive shaft, transmission, shifter, motor, headers, they're all looking pretty good. So yeah, gotta move on from here. I guess take it easy, and we will see you in the next one.